What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on Keeping It Real with Credit, live and direct from Miami, Florida. Talking to you guys from the house this time. And sorry if the background is a little bit too bright and I'm a little bit too dark, but for the most part, I think you guys can see me pretty well. And I think that the information that we're going to have on this video, it's definitely would be more important than if I'm dark here or not. So for the most part, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thank you guys so much for all of you guys right now joining into the live. Guys, welcome to Keeping It Real with Credit Live. I'm your host Ray from Keeping It Real, and if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing because on this channel we talk anything and everything regarding credit, personal finance, tips and tricks on real estate, automotives, investments, you name it. You're definitely gonna go ahead and find it right here. And I also got some great results before and after to go ahead and show you guys some new results, some new possibilities, and please go ahead and answer your questions. Guys, a few things like I usually do anyways. Right there on the screen is the number to my office, right there on the screen. If you call that number, you'll be conducted to do what's called a free credit evaluation. And that free credit evaluation is going to go ahead and set you up for success. One of my credit analysts is going to be on the phone with you. And it's going to take you step by step on identifying all the negative factors that are holding your credit back. Then give you some realistic expectations and a plan of attack, a very strategic one, which is going to tell you exactly how we're going to make, your credit goals come true when it comes to, buying your next car, your next home, whether it's opening a business or just improving your credit just because. Now more than ever, guys, is the best time to go ahead and work on your credit and leverage money other than the money that you have saved or that you're earning in your company, wherever you work at, because this way we can leverage the bank's money, other people's money, to go ahead and either invest it, whether it's saving, so on and so forth. So with that being said, thank you guys so much. And for those of you guys tuning in, yes, I am in Miami, Florida. Right back there is the Miami American Airlines Arena where the Miami Heat play. And so definitely looking forward to the season coming up soon. So all you guys, thank you guys so much for joining into the channel. Albert Reed, Evelis Oyola, Albert Reed again, what's up, what's up? Francisco Velez, what's up? Brenda, how you doing? Evelis, yes, I am in Miami. Devon, got to catch live. There you go. Thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you so much for that. So with that being said, guys, also after the number on the screen, the very first link in the description below is the link that'll go ahead and take you to the website, which you'll be able to put your information, and you'll be able to go ahead and get a text message from me once you submit your information so that you can go ahead and schedule your free credit evaluation. I'll go ahead and send you guys the link. In the meantime, guys, as I usually do, what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to definitely, let me see here. I'm going to definitely go ahead and copy and paste the calendar link. Guys, right there is my calendar link. You click on that link, you'll be able to lock in your free 20-minute evaluation by me or my team. That's going to go ahead and get you right. All right, guys. So with that being said, let's go on with the topic here. Let me go ahead and set this up here. Bam. All right. So, guys, these are the very first set of results that I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. And as you see here, this right here, guys, as I've said before, this is a copy of the analysis. This right here is the copy of the analysis. This is what you get for free as part of your evaluation. This is something you take home for you to read, for you to review, learn about credit, and everything is tailored based on what's on your credit report, right? And so this client right here came to us May 25th of 2020, all right? And that's our information here. That this is some more credit information here. And he came to us, guys, with a 567, 549, and a 552, all here from May 25th of 2020, right? And then on to the next here. Now, as of July 2nd, guys, as of July 2nd, remember, he came to us on May 25th. Now, as of July 2nd, he is in 616, 597, and 573. still have a little bit more work to do. But the beautiful thing, the reason why I love showing these type of results is that because guys, check this out. Remember, there's something called the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And the Fair Credit Reporting Act states that if something's unverifiable, inaccurate, or incomplete, it must be corrected or removed. It just has to be. So if we have great results from one credit bureau, that's all the proof of concept that we need. Now what we do is we go ahead and use that, we leverage the results from one to influence the other two credit bureaus. Essentially telling the other two credit bureaus, all right, credit bureaus, hey, your brother over here, right? Let's call Equifax their brother, even though they're independently, right? Hey, your little brother over here found it reasonable to remove these negative items because they didn't meet the Fair Credit Reporting Act guidelines. They weren't verified, accurate, or complete from the original creditor or collection agencies. Can you reinvestigate what you have and see if maybe you didn't overlook something? And typically, most of the time, that does generate some great results, or at least starts the conversation of what we can actually do. And so that's why I love showing this to you guys because I want to show real results without them being edited. However, I wanted to explain to you guys kind of the concept behind the scenes of what this looks like and how we interpret it as a company. All right. And also, this is conducted by a summary right here, guys, that we also send over to our clients. And this right here was 59 negative items. 59 negative items he started off with. And after that, we was able to increase the scores around 48 to 50 points. And as you guys see here, guys, see Capital One, dispute, charge off collection, deleted. Bank NA, 30 days late, dispute, deleted. So these are late payments that got deleted. Charge off collection from First Premier, deleted. Monterey Financial, these are collections, again, deleted. Hey guys, you guys were asking if student loans can be deleted. Look at it right here. Fed loan, 120 days late, disputed. The results were it got deleted. Another collection agency, collection after collection. Guys, deleted. Also, part of the reason as to why their scores may be on the lower side still is because his credit was so bad, he wasn't able to qualify just yet for any credit cards. So this right here, obviously, we have some more work to do, but these are the results from just starting in May. Obviously, there's still more work to do. First Premier, deleted. U.S. Department of Education, student loans, guys, deleted. Another student loan, deleted. Student loans, deleted again. Deleted all student loans. Fed loan servicing group, Fed loan. U.S. Department of Education, Fed loan. All these accounts being deleted. And we can go by days. So, guys, check this out. What I love about this evaluation here and this audit is that it lets us know how many items. You see, guys, look at this, guys, right here. This guy came to us with over 138 negative items across 3 credit bureaus. You guys see that? You guys seeing what I'm seeing? 138 items. He started off in May 25th with 138 items. Guys, that's a lot of items right there. And as you can see here, it lists it all for you. This is what you guys take home as part of the service or the evaluation, whether you guys do business with us or not, right? And in July, as you see here, right, July, he has only 84 items left. We took him from 138 negative items to 84 items remaining, taking off a bunch of collections and student loans, guys. Again, if it gets removed, it's because it was in violation of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So let me go back to you guys and let's go ahead and get some feedback and answer some of you guys' questions on here. Let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead back here. All right, guys. So Oakland Raider Trucker, hello. I'm in your program. Lately, I've been getting calls from old collectors asking me to confirm my address, but I don't ever answer those effing people. Is it good that I don't answer those requests? Absolutely. Obviously, Oakland Raider, we're doing that for you on your behalf, not calling them on the phone, but if they're on your credit report, we're sending them letters. So it is not necessary at all to go ahead and communicate via phone because we're communicating on your behalf via letters, right? And it's much better that way because this way we'll be able to have some sort of black and white, messaging, right? We have concrete, I guess you can say, evidence, right, that we're communicating with the tracking numbers that we supply with, right? So You don't need to do that. So good on you, Oakland Raider, for not divulging that information. Eduardo Antonio, hey Ray, thanks for all of your help. Eduardo, thank you so much for being part of the program, and thank you so much for getting for trusting us to get your next home. Guys, let me go ahead and update um, the screen here because I have like a little double screen there. There you go. All right. Um, ENZ print code. So don't pay off debts in collections. So ENZ print code. You don't want to do that immediately, right? So keep in mind, guys. Like I said in the other videos, is that once you're in this process, once your account goes into a collection agency, think about it. A collection is negative. It's going to impact your score. It can drop your score very significantly. If you pay that collection agency in the comment section of that account, as it's reporting on your credit report, it's going to report as just um, paid, right? However, it'll remain on your credit report as a collection, meaning that when you go buy your next car or you get a loan or your next home, you may not get approved. If you do get approved, it's going to be at a higher interest rate because even though the collection is paid, it's still a negative reflection on your payment history. And if you're the person that's going to lend money, what's going to happen is if you're the person that's going to lend money and you look at somebody's history of payment that they had a collection, then you might be a little bit standoffish. You might be a little hesitant and lending that person some money. So the idea is to get that whole account removed. Obviously, there has to be a validation, a verification process. If in the 30 days they cannot prove it, then they must remove it, right? And hopefully that gives you some insight as to how that really works. Also, guys, the credit scoring algorithms of today, what you have access to online is not what the banks have access to. They're still running on older FICO scoring models to evaluate your credit to determine whether to lend you money and at what interest rate. So it doesn't benefit them to change into FICO score model 9 and 10, which don't calculate a paid collection or a hospital bill against your credit. They don't want to do that. And so we have to think about, hey, I know that in these older FICO scoring models, a collection, whether it's paid or not, is still negatively impacting my score. So what do I lose with attempting to dispute it and go through the verification process? Because if it gets removed because it couldn't be verified, then guess what? Then your score jumps up, obviously depending on what's remaining on your credit report. So hopefully that right there makes sense. ENZ. Ronaldo Pedroso, show my results. People will love it. Ronaldo, I think, I'm not sure. Maybe one of those results aren't here, but definitely we'll keep that in mind. Juan Martinez, two utilities collections won't come off and they won't pay for delete. Been disputing for 6 months, 5 years old. Should I just pay them if I'm trying to rent a house? One, I wouldn't recommend you pay them. Those are really old accounts based on the information that you're telling me. If you pay those accounts, you would have restarted the time frame in which that account can remain on your credit report. So if this account has already been 5 years old, you're better off waiting out the 2 more years when accounts should fall off of your credit report. But if you pay that account now, that clock will restart, and for the additional 7 years, it will remain on there. And because you've paid it, it'll be that much more difficult for them to remove. I love to see how you're disputing it and with who and what kind of language do you have on your reports, because that right there can make a difference. We've removed clients' accounts from them themselves being disputed and they weren't successful. But once we go in there, analyze, and we do our thing, we get those accounts removed. So I'd love to take a look at that one. If you can, give us a call to the number on the screen or schedule your free evaluation with the link that I'm about to text right here so that you can have a better idea as to what's possible. And if you want to go ahead and hire us, then that's exactly what we do. And I'll definitely appreciate that. Um, On to the next ENZ print code, secured cards. Good idea to build. Yes. Secured cards are a good idea to build. However, they're not the best interest rates. But for the most part, it's the cost of doing business. It's the cost of benefiting from a great credit score. Sometimes you have to start. We can't just be bigger than the credit card, right? We can't think of ourselves so big that we're not willing to go ahead and start from the ground up. So we have to go ahead and Jordan Peterson says we have to aim low, right? We have to aim low. And what I mean by that is because sometimes I actually answered that. What does it mean to aim low? Well, what aiming low means is that if you fall back on something, if you're trying to achieve something, you have to aim low. Meaning you have to set the bar a little bit higher than what you've expected. However, it has to be reachable. That way, there's progress. You're not gonna go ahead and go to the gym, right? And if you've never bench pressed 400 pounds, all of a sudden you're going to start with 400 pounds when really you can just bench press 65 pounds. And if you can just bench 65 pounds, that's cool. Setting the bar low would be going from 65 to maybe 70 or 75 pounds. And you work your way up from there. And as long as there's progress, you don't make progress. And hopefully that makes sense with the secured card. I may have gone a little bit off topic, but for the most part, secured cards are definitely a way to go. ENZ Printco, how do you even get 130? It happens. You can have a lot of collections, but for the most part, student loans usually kind of report on your credit report many times. Jennifer Bucks, you mentioned how much do you charge? Jennifer, pricing is always based on the amount of negative items that we have on a credit report. That's why the free evaluation is so crucial. Not only can we educate you on credit and what credit and how your credit score and the accounts that you have on your credit report is affecting you, right? But for the most part, it gives us an idea of how much work needs to be done. And because of that, we're able to give you pricing. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that pricing is always based on the amount of negative items you have. So hopefully that right there makes sense. Um, Queen Peaches, should I pay my child's medical bill on my credit report? Is it a collection? Is it still reporting negatively on your score? If it is, then I would rather you go through the disputing and verification process because if it gets removed, then the score goes up. But again, hard to say without the information in front of me. Feel free to schedule a free evaluation or call the number on the screen. All right, Cannon Wilds. What's up, Cannon? Would it be faster to delete an account with late payments than to update the account to on time? It's more beneficial to reverse a late payment than to remove the whole account in itself. See, if your account has payments over, let's say, a 2 to 3 year or 5 year time period, it's better, it's harder, however, it's more beneficial to reverse the late payments because that account, 35% of your credit score is payment history, which is the number one biggest factor. You'll also be adding in there how old that account is, which also plays a contributing factor into it because banks like to see how long you've maintained an account in a good status. However, reversing late payments is difficult. We do it all day, but it is more challenging. Sometimes it's easier to just remove the whole account, but you may be missing out on crucial points that may help your credit score, like payment history and length of time. Length of time is about 15% of your credit score, plus the 35. If you do the math, that's a pretty big impact. And so that hopefully that right there makes sense. Ramos family, how you doing? Hey Ray, I have Experian at a 617, Equifax at a 598, and TransUnion at a 635. At what point do I apply for a bank card? It depends on which credit bureau they check. Sometimes you can find online what banks check what credit bureau, but that's not always so accurate. So it's better to go ahead and take a look and maybe do an evaluation or do your own evaluation. Look at your credit and see what you can remove because that's only going to increase the chances of you getting approved, more money that you could get approved for, and the better interest rate, meaning you're going to be able to save a lot more long term. So it's better if you go ahead and actually um, set this up in that way. So I wouldn't be too desperate to apply for anything at this point with these scores. Hopefully that helps. Queen Peaches, my score is a 670, and I was denied credit with Discover. What's a good credit card to go with? I have one card from Navy Federal. So Queen Peaches, I would try to increase the limit on the card on Navy Federal because that's a credit union. I have Navy Federal Credit Union since my time in the Marine Corps, and they have great interest rates. So I would try to increase my limit. If not, what credit bureau did Discover check? However, you can always check Capital One or any other secured cards from there. Or you can just try increasing your other credit scores. Um, so hopefully that helps. Tori S, if you have a secured card, does it make a difference if you increase the credit limit by adding funds to the account? or since it's listed as a secured card, does it make any difference? It doesn't make any difference at all. I started off with a secured card and I kept depositing more money, more money, more money in there because what I did, my mentality was, how can I leverage my credit, right? My credit was just good enough to get approved for this card, but not any other card back when. And so I took a list and I got all my bills down, every possible bill that I can maybe pay with a credit card. And whatever that equal to, I made sure to deposit money into the credit card to increase my limit to what that equals to, if not even more, so that way I can allocate all my bills to that credit card. And when the credit card pays all those bills, whatever is remaining, it's only going to be 30% of the limit that I established. So that's what I love about secured cards, because the cost of entry is small, but you have control as to what the limits are, which is crucial. 30% of your credit score, which is the second biggest factor, is availability of credit. And the first biggest factor is payment history. So now it's 65% of your credit score. Just using one secured card in that way can increase your credit score tremendously and put you in a position where you can qualify for unsecured cards and continue the same routine from there. So hopefully that right there helps. Guys, before I answer some more questions, let's go ahead and see some more results. Let me go ahead and switch this over. All right, guys, now we're gonna go ahead and move into client number two. Client number two. All right, guys, here's the credit analysis. This client here started with us in uh, May 2nd of 2020. Okay, his credit scores were here: 460, 502, 505, really on the low side. And he came to us with 37 negative items. And these are the negative items that we had to work with. All right. These are the negative items. And he had a bankruptcy right here, guys, a bankruptcy and 32 inquiries. So we have bankruptcies and a lot of negative items, right? Let's see what the results were now. So as of July 6th into the program, started off in May. I'm sorry, um, March. Started off in March. Now it's July 6th into our program. And look at where his scores are now, from a 460 to a 624, mid 600s. Obviously, there's still more work to do. Started off with 37 items, has 23 remaining, and bankruptcy still remain, but obviously some inquiries got removed. There's obviously, guys, still more work to do, but a huge difference right here in the credit scores. And let's go into more details as to what got deleted. So one item got deleted, which resulted in this much of an increase over time, and we was able to reverse a late payment right here. All right, guys. Um, Let me go here. Let me switch over here, guys, and let's go ahead and switch back to some more questions. Let me go back on here. Tori S. Okay, Juan Martinez asked, been working with a company. It's been 6 months now. A lot of deletions, however, just have those two left. How long should we give a company? Look, guys, when it comes to, if you're working with a credit restoration company, it really depends on you how long you want to go ahead with them. Just know that, hey, you didn't get your credit score to where it's at overnight. And therefore, the process of restoration cannot be done overnight. Sometimes it may take a few months, but even if it takes a few months, it's still a lot better than waiting out 7 years till an account falls off on their own. And if an account doesn't get removed for whatever reason, again, I'm not that company and I'm not seeing exactly what they're doing for you. But if it doesn't get removed, then maybe you want to go ahead and negotiate a payment for deletion if it's that collection agency. But again, hard to see without the information in front of me, Juan. But for the most part, if you just have two accounts remaining, be patient, because again, regardless of how much you end up paying a credit restoration company over that time frame, it's going to be microscopic, I promise you, to the amount of money you're going to be lended to because you have better credit, and the amount of money you're going to save because you're locked in at the best interest rates possible. So definitely worth the investment. All right, guys. So powerfully confident. I just scheduled an evaluation. Thank you so much for that. We look forward to speaking to you soon. Tara Nightingale asked, hi, how long should we remain with you if scores went up? but seems to be stuck at a current score for the last few months. I think I started in March. Again, Tara, I think I'd answered that question here with one. You know, sometimes there's a process to everything that we do. In the process of credit restoration, we've had clients in our program. We've had a few clients in our program since November or August of last year that are still in our program today, but they started off in the 500s and they're in the low 800s today. Obviously, they have some more accounts to be worked on, but whatever that cost them, again, look at the position where they're at now and how much money they're going to save and how much credit they're going to get. Again, it really depends up to you, but be patient. I know we communicate with you often when it comes to what's going on with the credit, but the process of credit restoration is that in itself a process, and it's way better than waiting out 7 years. So hopefully that answers your question. But if you have any additional questions on any concerns regarding your case, go ahead and call that number on the screen. Press option 2 for processing, and my processing department should be able to help you out. Devon Bell. Let me go here. All right. Let me see here. Devon Bell asks, let me a second here, because this was getting locked in. All right. Devon, your message, I guess I'm trying to scroll up here and I'm not seeing it. Maybe it'll refresh here in a second. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take advantage of the remaining evaluation here. So we can go ahead and take a look at these awesome results. So, number one, let me see here. Number one here started with us, or here's a good one. This person has been with us since December 10th of 2019. So hopefully this answers you guys' questions when it comes to how long should we take. Everybody's situation is different, by the way. Um, this person started with us on December of last year. Started with us in these scores: 640, 633, and a 696, with 16 negative items. And for the most part, as you see here, they're medical bills or medical collections, right? And one Chrysler Capital, which was, I believe this was a repossession. At the time, 5 inquiries doesn't hurt your credit so bad. All right. And so that was in December. As of July 2nd, guys, as of July 2nd, let's see where he stands today. 755, 761, and 747. So you see, guys, this person started with us in December. It took to July for us to get him to the scores of where he's at now. Let's see how many's remaining. 16 items, only 3 remaining, guys. Only 3 remaining. These are again the remaining collections are that are on there. And Credco, he's obviously trying to look for a home. Definitely well within range. And his utilization scores are great, 14%. He should qualify for a home, no problem. But we're still gonna put in some work. By the way, guys, as you see here, this medical collection, they all got removed from Equifax and they all got removed from TransUnion. They're only remaining in Experian. So that scenario where I talked about where we can use the other two to influence one, that's exactly what we're gonna do. But for the most part, all these got removed from all of them except Experian. Only 3 items remaining from 16 starting in December. Right, guys? So again, 3 items got deleted, which resulted in all these scores. So you see this repossession from Chrysler Capital, all got deleted, guys. You see what I'm saying? All got deleted. Charge off, unpaid balance, removed from the credit report. Right? That was one of the last results we got since the last round of disputes, which was obviously remaining, and the other ones remain on there. So let me go ahead and switch over back to you guys, and and hopefully that answers some of you guys' questions on there. Let me go ahead. Devon Bell, I have a nuisance, a repo on my credit that I tried to get removed at one point. What approach would you take with that problem? Because it's one of my biggest issues trying to get approved for a VA home loan. It can be a variety of things. I had a repossession myself when I had left the Marine Corps. And when I did the repossession, one of the discrepancies that we found was that they couldn't verify my signature and couldn't find the police report that tow truck companies need to make as soon as they pick up a vehicle. That right there got it removed. Although you know that's the discrepancy that was found. So, with that said, Devon, we definitely have our strategies. They differ because everybody's situation is different. However, give us a call to the number on the screen or click the link right here to schedule your evaluation. Here's my calendar link, and it shows my availability, and I'll be able to text you with my number. Let me see here. DH, please answer my question. I have a credit card that is now charged off, but they're not going to collections as of yet, which will happen soon. They gave me a settlement offer. Is paying it going to do me any good, or is it pointless? Depends, right? I say always deal with the original creditor first. If not, then obviously it gets a little tricky when it gets to collections. If they're offering you a settlement offer, see if they'll maybe include the idea of removing the account once it's paid, right? But also, if also I don't know what the amount is, but if the amount is significant enough, they could sue you, and that may result in other complications. Sometimes at this point, we may have to cut our losses, but for the most part, DH, we've removed charge-offs and collections. So if you want us to go ahead and take a look at it with our free valuation, we'll be happy to look over it and discuss more in detail what your options are or what's the best plan of attack for you. So hopefully that answers your question. Evelis Oyola, nice. And Cannon Wilds, can you guys remove recent inquiries? Yes, inquiries are a little bit difficult, but we have removed recent inquiries. Guys, with that being said, that's it for the live as of today. Thank you guys so much for joining into the channel, asking you guys these questions, and allowing me to show you guys the results we've been able to generate for some of our clients. It's a great sunny day here in Miami, Florida, and again, really blessed for the opportunity that you guys have given us to help restore your credit and your personal finances. With that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for the love and support. Like, comment, subscribe, share with family and friends. And on to the next episode on Keeping It Real with Credit. Peace.